Let's take a look at the next progression in our breaststroke thumbs interlace series. So in our previous progression, what we were using is a snorkel. So this version is just going to not have a snorkel in it, but we'll go over the key points here of what we look for. And if your athlete has a snorkel and you haven't tried it out, it's a great thing to be able to have here to be able to try it out and then continue to build the key things with the brushstroke that we would look for. So let's go over with that. Here we're going to be looking for the thumbs to be interlaced. One thing that we really want to emphasize here again is to be kicking in a line here established by the hands. And what we're going to see is when we add the kick, we're going to add a line then kind of on top of it here, so that way just the entire body is really able to travel nice and forward here. What we want to see is the hands here, making sure that we're kind of right below the surface, minimizing any real strong waves of up and down. We want to kind of stay within a range at that surface level so that the body is just going to be emphasizing to travel nice and forward as we move here through the water. So this is exactly kind of what we mean right here. That's really, really good. We just want to watch that. We're not going to be going and kind of riding a wave or kind of going like this as we travel through the waters. And you kind of saw we got a little bit deeper there as we were progressing. Head here, when we need to take a breath, we're just going to lift up, keeping the chin somewhat tucked and those eyes at the diagonal level, so that way then just put that head back down so that we can focus on getting that good strong alignment here with the back. Now let's go over the kick. Here we're going to see the heels come up to the hip area. Now the closer here you can get the heels to the hips, the overall stronger, the more powerful that kick is going to be. Now here we're kind of what we notice is a little bit of a gap, and that gap's going to be okay. Some athletes are going to be limited by this just because of either flexibility or mobility of certain joints or muscle groups. But just again, in general, the higher up that we can get there, the better that will be for the athlete. At the highest point, when those feet hit those highest point, what we really want to see is just getting those feet here turned out. That way we're going to be able to grab water here on the inside of the feet and also here on the inside of the calf. When we're able to do that, then we're going to be able to have this great kick here behind us. Now, remember the kicking direction has to be at a downward angle. Doing that's going to really promote strong propulsive power, so that way then the athlete, again, is just going to concentrate on being able to move forward and being then nice and strong. Another thing here that we didn't mention that we should mention here with the setup is that the knees should be on or slightly just outside the hip line. As the athletes get a little bit older, we really like them to be more along the hip line, so that way we can have a kick and a pull that are going to, again, really complement one another to be able to go forward. If everybody can kind of see what that emphasis is going to be, and the common theme that we look for here in that breaststroke is so that we can be going forward. Now here you can kind of see those hips pop up a little bit. This is something that we do on purpose for our breaststroke swimmers, and something that we'd like to be able to see. Just watch that. We're not going to be creating this too much by forcing those hands to go down so that those hips here are going to rise up. And then we just kind of repeat. So here we take that breath, and then we want to focus on just getting that head back down so that way we can kind of keep moving. Remember, it's all about keeping moving nice and forward. Taking a look here at the kick. So just again, we want to keep these knees along that hip line. Here we're doing a great job of that. On this here, we're right where we need to be actually. So this is a really, really good frame and a good example for our athlete. Now here, we're just again, we want to make sure that as the feet rise, we're able to turn those feet out quickly to be able to grab that water right there. We also want to make sure that we're grabbing water on the inside of the calf. remembering that downward angle here, that kick. There we go. And then a nice little secret that we like with our breaststroke here is to remember to get those feet and point those toes so to allow those feet to get up here toward that surface area. As we're going to switch here to the return view, we're going to just look for those same things. So here we can kind of see just a little bit of that bounce. We want to make sure that we again are going to be minimizing that a little bit to make it to be a little bit flatter. Focus on keeping those hands a little bit more at the surface, so that way again we hit that nice straight line. And we just again we're going to kind of take that breath, return back down, and just focus on having here this really strong kick. Now again, we're not going to be too picky about the hips going up. We just don't want to create that too much by those hands going downward. And then we're going to continue to go shift to our underwater view, so we can kind of see here how deep those hands are. Just again, we would kind of tell our athlete, even as we're doing the kick, to keep those feet to be, or sorry, those hands to be up here a little bit more at that surface area. Now here we can kind of see also, just another thing for everybody to see, when the knees are coming for the breaststroke, we don't want to push those in because it'll give the illusion that the heels are at the hips. More we can kind of keep and see, just think of the kick as a bending movement, that with the feet and heels are more concentrating on moving up, bending from the knee. Overall here, if you found some great value out of this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe.